It is a great privilege to be back here today as a graduate of Victoria University on what is a very, very special day for you. If I look back at my time at Victoria University, which I must admit is quite some time ago, I guess one of the things that reflecting back now is realising what a foundation stone it was to many of the pieces of work that I'm working on now. I came through the business school and in some instances possibly didn't value some of the subjects that I was working on. Accounting for me was a terror. It was a tough one to get through. And now we manage a budget with millions of dollars, a significant budget, and I now realise that that was an incredible foundation. Not only was it an incredible foundation for learning, but it also gave me a taste for coming back. And I have done some postgraduate studies through VU in management and recently completed a leadership course in the last 2 years. So I think that foundation really just gave me the taste to go on. The other thing about being at Victoria University or university as such was the friendships that were made. It doesn't seem that long ago that I was attending 21st Interstate and around regional Victoria, and now well and truly through the 40th birthday party. So I think amazing friendships made through my time at university. The other and final thing that I think has been really important about my time at university was starting networks. And it's only now, 20 years in the workforce, I realise how important and powerful networks can be. And coming from an all-girl country school in regional Victoria, coming to the campus that has got so much diversity was such an important step of going into the workforce where diversity is absolutely as part of the mix. I guess after leaving Victoria University, to talk about some of the milestone things that I've worked on outside of Victoria University, and I guess some of the things that I can look back on now is when I first started my career at the City of Melbourne, I was running the visitor information booths. And one of the things, I suppose, when you first get out into the workforce is sometimes the jobs can seem laborious, boring and unglamorous, and when I worked at the City of Melbourne for 1.5 years, I wheeled a trolley around the city streets of Melbourne in flat shoes delivering brochures to information booths. And so it's important to sort of make the most of those opportunities, because then that opportunity actually extended into a project working on the cruise ships down at Station Pier. Again, I think I had images of the Love Boat, but essentially it was very unglamorous again, but was another stepping stone to a further job. And so I used to report down at the port, checking when the cruise ships were coming in. That was calling the Port Authority at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and taking that trolley of brochures that I'd trudged around the streets of Melbourne to give to visiting largely US passengers. And it was there that time that I was able to make a difference. The port was sort of a very desolate area. I introduced a coffee machine, and that comes from my hotelling background growing up in hotels, scrubbing off the graffiti off the wall, making the experience. We had the police pipe down there, town crier, etc. So what sort of seemed an opportunity to extend. And I guess that's the thing, is sometimes the boring things create opportunities for you to do something. In fact, that was the next stepping stone. The City of Melbourne were asked to report on this visitor service. And again, as a young person in the workforce, I took this quite seriously. I wrote quite an extensive paper, which was a little overkill. In fact, I think I had 2 minutes to explain what was happening down at the cruise ships. And I explained the advances in coffee and fixing graffiti and those sorts of things. And 2 days later, I was offered a role with state government in a completely different area. It was infrastructure development, and it was really about writing a paper to fix the fendering in infrastructure, which I knew nothing about, but having spent some time at the port, started to sort of develop an understanding. So I guess that job then really led me into the next job. I'd landed in Tourism Victoria, working in an area of infrastructure development, and was offered a project in working at the airport and largely decorating the arrivals terminal, which I felt I'd done down at the port with my little coffee machine down there. So essentially that, I guess, gave me an entree into the marketing area, and had the opportunity to work on some of the major events, Australian Open, Grand Prix, Comedy Festival, and that's where I struck the Food and Wine Festival. As the Deputy Chancellor said, I've been at the festival for the last 9 years. We celebrate our 20th birthday. We have 400,000 people. We have nearly 100 journalists travelling from around the world to be here for the festival. We've had some of the top chefs and winemakers travelling around the world. Within that role, I've had so many wonderful experiences overseas comparing, which you must do, other events and festivals overseas. And I think I'm incredibly lucky. My role now has taken me from a graduate of the tourism course into meeting with government, into meeting with local communities. We do a lot of work with children, we work with cultural communities, etc. And I guess when I reflect back to my graduation day, I guess I had no idea what was in store for me. So really I want to say congratulations on what is an incredible achievement to get your graduation in various disciplines, and I wish you the very best. I think the world is absolutely your oyster. It is a global world and there are so many wonderful opportunities out there. So today I wish you every success on what will be an incredible journey. So thank you.